Hey people, it's a hot summer bitch out there in South Mississippi today. The good thing about it is all my grass burned up. I ain't gotta cut it no more. So my friend come by and took me out to get some Thai food yesterday. I think I love them Thai more than I do the Mexicans now. My body digests that real well. So I'm fixing to prove beyond a shadow of doubt that Google, Wiki, all world governments and religions are all in cahoots to keep you ignorant and poor. You know, attach is a common word. You can see the pronunciation here, attach. And they say its origin Germanic. They can't find out how it was spelled, but that's where they say it's from. And from there it went to the old French as attacher, or estacher, or a stake in English, and somehow became attach, and means to seize by legal authority, meaning to fasten or to fix, based on an element of Germanic origin related to stake, to stake them out. It's an old English legal term because you find it in all the old legal documents, and the same is hereby attached to. And when they separate it, it's hereby detached. And you see it here in this Song of Moses I've been reading the past couple of movies, and takes hold to, UTACHC, attaches, and HRBY, and hereby attaches, and hereby attaches in bum septit, in bum sepit, in the bum it's sepit. Whatever the judge says, the bum sepit. You accept what the judge is handing out. And so they just don't want to tell nobody that the ancient British language, the ancient Teutonic language, is older than all the other languages, and it's the base of what they call Hebrew. They give this hereby a sword, and usually just the HRB, they'll say that. But yeah, hereby, when you're saying hereby, you're patting your gun on your side, hereby, and hereby attaches. And you can see, has, HZ, when it has it, and Vav means to connect, and to, TA. And you'll see up here, they even pronounce the A as O here, and what to has, and connect to has, attaches, and hereby attaches. So this final M reads as a S. This is AS, it means as. And as sanity, two N's, SENN, sanity. As sanity in birth, BRF. When something breaks out, it's just been birthed. In birth, BRQ, BRF. As sanity in birth hereby attaches. When the sanity comes out, is hereby attaches. In bum sepit, in bum sepitity, in bum sepitity. The yod they say is the hand, and the I on the end of it is handy. And then aceive. This is where your word receive come from, but re is kind of a bad prefix, because re means again, and it means you had it once and lost it and got it again. But when you receive, you aceive, SEIV, aceiving. And aceiving cause, the cause, this is a QM, the final M reads as a S, and the Q means to come after, and the M means from, to come after from. What goes up must come down. The cause is what comes after. And let's, LTS, they'll say it's a TZ, but it's a TZTS, same thing. And let's reveal them, Snay. I only heard that word one time in my life back when I was in the Navy. Country boy from Georgia would use that word, Snay. And he thought that word meant to hate. And they get this enemies just from this base word, the XR, That's the Chi-Rho of Chi-Rho, and that's the symbol of the Catholic Church, and that was the enemies of the British people in the time that this was written. And so as sanity in birth hereby attaches, and you might read this, the double B is two of them with a dot in it, as in a BV, bovum sepit, the one that's above, and as sanity birth hereby attaches bovum sepit, handy a seven cause, let's rival. And that's where they're getting them enemies and those who hate me. To let's RIVL, let's rival them. And MS must nay, NAY is not. Let's rival them must not ourselves. And this is the A and the S. The dot above the S says E, and then the dot here says two L's. And the final M is pronounced as an S. That's why it means plural. Most of the time you see it. And as cells. And so that's what Salem means. When the British moved them poor pilgrims to Salem, they had to repay. They had to pay their way. You didn't have to have money to get on the boat, but when you got here, you were loading boats with timber to repay Salem. Cells. So the clouds done moved in and cooled it down out there, so you can hear that thunder rocking now. But it is a little difficult to read, but the reason is because it reads 3 times. You're going to come back and you're going to read it with the upper directional markings, the markings that are on top, and then you're going to come back and read it again with the lower directional markings. This little angle here, this little hook on the bottom, and it's going to, these markings add and subtract letters. This one here will subtract this letter when you're reading it through here, so you're just going to read it at A-I-V. So as sanity in birth hereby attaches bovum sepit handy a sieve, in the hand to receive, is handy a sieve in cause, let's rival 'em Snay, ourselves. And so I don't believe Snay means hate, because I haven't heard it enough. But it's surely where your base word from snake come from, S-N-A. And I believe you'll see it sometimes spelled as a snake. It only comes up one time like this, and most of the words you'll see in this chapter only come up one time. They're all spelled different. In 147 occurrences, and most 1, 2, or 3 times, 1, 5. And you'll see it a couple of times as snake. S-N-A-K, a snack. And here 6 times is a S-N-A-I-K, a snake. And they'll say it means hate. Thine enemies, the snake. And so best chances all that story we were told about the snake in the tree, and that hate was forced on that meaning, because God had lied to Adam, and he said, oh, don't eat of that tree, you will surely die. And the snake says, nah, you won't surely die. What it'll do though is it'll open your eyes, and you will be like gods. You will see what's going on. And so God hates the snake, but God was the liar in that story. So when you come back and read it with this mark here, now it's as, and then backwards, it. As it when sanity, and I'm reading the lower marks with this, and in bear, and then this way, this line tells you to come back, B-F-R, in bear before, and then fuck, QH is fuck, and that means, that's where they get this take from. That means take, and he took his wife's as QH, F-C-H, fuck. And before fucker, and by attaches, and then the little line up here would tell you to come back and grab this HZ again, and attaches, has, bovum sepit, and then this line here is telling you to come back and read BMSSEP again. And bovum sepit in, be in, must pity, P-I-D-Y. And that's why that word was written like that, must pity. And then you're not reading the S this time, so it's a A-I-V-N, Avon. Avon's a bird. Must pity Avon. And cause, let's rival 'em. And that's a Snay, the snail. And you'll see the snail common. It's in a lot of the ancient writings they used to put on the sides of the Bible. You see they drew that snail in there a lot. And I got an old movie somewhere that tells the meaning of the snail. And yeah, that's those that you hate. When you're driving down the road and somebody's really slow in front of you, yeah, you hating it. You're cussing them when you got somewhere to be. And from the snail, from sin, and from sin, cells, S-N-A, the sinner. And it'll be read a third time, and you'll just be reading these upper markings now. So it's going to tell you to add an I when you get here. And it adds the sanity that I birth. The sanity that I birth. Hereby attaches. Bovum sepit. The hitty. This is a TH. The sepit and the hideous. IV, Ivan come. And so this isn't a final M now, it's just the M. And this mark will tell you to read it again, so then it's an S. So this is now a MS. And Ivan comes. The kingdom comes. Let's rival 'em, Snay, ourselves. But you see in all them ancient manuscripts and Bibles out on the side, you'll see this, the knight fighting the snail. He's hating the snail. The Snay, the hate. And I don't remember what movie it was. I had looked farther into it in a movie in the past. If somebody remembers, let me know, because I can't remember what the meaning of it was now. But it's very common. And sometimes he puts his sword down and prays to God in front of the snail. Or is he praying to the snail? Sometimes he's naked, praying to the snail. And so best chances, when he's here praying to the snail, he's praying for a longer life, to slow it down. Because in a lot of them, you often see the rabbit, the snail, and the dog all taking turns chasing each other. The rabbit symbolizes fast. And so the snail possibly symbolizing Saturn. It was the slow planet out there. You got 3 snails crawling Jacob's ladder here. Looks like they're trying to get their kite out of the tree. And sometimes the priest is the snail. And he's done figured out the trick to slow the turning down, to slow the life down. A longer life. And you can see him here, he's the snail now, and he's fighting against the rabbit. And sometimes it's the dog on the rabbit and the rabbit on the snail. But the spear, this is the jar, and it means the day. And all these twisted scenes, they have a meaning. And the meaning was to help you understand the readings better. So when you ran into the word, the snail, you understood what it was talking about.
Don't forget. I won't forget.
Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.